It literally touched the line of where I was gonna get out, and this is why I don't get out so early, just because it touches my zone. I was getting, anxious. I was like, I'm about to click the sell button, but I just keep waiting. I keep waiting. Hey guys, it's Will. Welcome to the channel. I'm a part-time day trader trying to become a full-time, and if you guys are interested, you guys can join along with me. So we are in week 3, February 17th to the 21st. Monday was closed. There was no trading day on that day. And we can see so far we're actually down 57 cents, basically break even this week. Right now it's only Thursday. We still have one more day trading on Friday. We can see that our trade win percentage is 28%, which is not ideal. I would prefer at least 50%. Profit factor, we're 0.99, so we're almost break even. Day win percentage is 33%. Average win to loss is 2.49, which that is good. I want my average winners to be bigger than my average losers, but what we had to do is try to make sure that this trade win percentage is above 50%. And I'm struggling to get that right now. Right now, I'm in that phase where I'm trying to develop something new. I feel like something's changing about my trading a bit. And I did a lot of back testing. I did a lot of journaling over the weekend. And I feel that something is changing. I'm taking more trades than usual because I am finding more setups. The market's also presenting more setups. But first, I do want to break down my trades, and then I'll tell you later how I feel about my trading and what's kind of happening, what's like shifting about my trading. This Tuesday trade here, I broke down thoroughly on my last video if you guys haven't watched that yet, but I'll do a slight breakdown of it right now. I did take 2 trades. I had a loss and I had a win. I did a call and put, so I basically long and I also did shorts. You can see here my loss was 31%, which that's usually my average loss. I usually take 20 to 30%, but my average usually is 30%. Because when I take winners, I will keep it at 60%. My winning trade was 70%, so it was slightly more than a 2-to-1. So that's why I'm up that day, which is nice. So going to the first trade, which is the call. This is the trade. This is the 2-minute chart. What I'm looking for, like always, is a break and retest. This is my zone right here. This is the level. This is the previous all-time highs on the QQQ, or it is the all-time highs. And we did break above it. I was looking for a retest of this level and longing it. We can see that it is holding a bit, but it did not do a proper retest. It was not strong off that level because there was supply zones on the SPY, ES, and the NASDAQ as well. So I couldn't do anything about that. The market was weak, so I lost on that trade. You can see here when the market broke down, it broke down this trade. I looked for the retest. And I shorted all the way down to this demand zone. If I didn't respect the demand zones, then I would have lost again, or I would just lose my profits if I did not sell there. You can also see that there's demand zones here on the NASDAQ, so that's what I sold. I got over 70% on that trade, and I'll show you the live trade now.
Order filled. Order filled.
So that was a trade that literally took like 2 minutes of scalping, and I made over 70%. Like I said in my last video, like I said in a lot of videos, I normally don't like taking retest levels. Like you see how the market's on this zone right here, and now it's touching this zone, it's retesting the zone. I don't normally like longing it unless it does a false breakout. It breaks back down and the buyers are stronger. It breaks back up, does a retest and long. That's normally what I like doing. But recently, all my back testings, journaling my trades, I'm just understanding the market structure and understanding what I need to do. That is one of my A+ setups, like doing a retest and longing, but I just haven't been liking it as much, but I have to get back into it. I want to start reading the markets better. There's multiple times where the market does that, but I just don't take it. It's because I am not confident with that setup. But it is there. I just have to get better at it. The market structure tells me that I got a long, so I had to play longs. But most of the time I've been shorting it. Most of the times I've been waiting for the A+ setups, which is the false breakouts. Even though they are my A+ setups, I'm trying to take the A+ setups when the market is strong. So is that really an A+ setup if the market is not with my setup? Then that's probably not A+ anymore. I gotta make sure to look at market structure, and if it does ever do a false breakout, then I gotta make sure the market structure aligns with that strategy, and then it becomes an A+. You can see here in my second chart, you can see that the all-time highs, like I marked out, this is the all-time highs. It broke up. I'm waiting for that retest like I saw earlier, and then looking for the long. But we can see that the markets are breaking down these levels right here, and right here. So that's why I did not get the trade. One market was strong, but the other markets were weak. So that's why I flipped and I did a short instead. This is the Wednesday trade. I only did one trade, and we can see we lost 33%. Here is the 30-minute time frame. I probably shouldn't have taken this trade. Coming into the day, I wrote this. I wrote no shorts. I wrote no shorts because we can see that these are zones here. These are the lows, and these are the market zones. These are the demand zones. So I don't really want to short it unless it breaks previous day lows or it breaks certain levels that I like. So why am I going to short it if we're in an uptrend? Why am I going to short it if the market is strong? That's what I'm trying to work on recently, and these are my mistakes that I've been trying to do. I'm trying to short it when it's not supposed to be shorted. That's majority of the reasons why I've been losing. But when I was looking at the 2-minute time frame, I saw this. I saw that there was a flag forming, it broke down, and then it slowly started to retest the level of the zone. And I was like, it looks A plus to me, but the problem was it was holding this zone right here. It was holding the ES zone that I was thinking maybe it can hold the market. You can see here it's holding the market the whole day, the first 30 minutes, an hour of the market. But I decided to short, and I told myself I'm not going to short unless we break this level. But what did I do? I tried shorting it when it didn't happen. So I did not follow my rules. Even though I didn't follow my rules, I just liked the retest. I liked the how it was like slowly retesting this level after it broke, which I can wait for my golden zone, which is here on the Nasdaq. This is why it's gold, because I like that for the retest long, and then I can actually long the market. But that's why I was thinking it can go back to that zone. Usually when the market is in an uptrend, they make lower highs and higher highs. They form an uptrend, right? If I draw this line over here, you can see that it made a higher low right here, so that it doesn't always have to touch the level. It doesn't have to always touch the zones that I have charted. You can also see right here on the ES, it does a higher low right here, and it is an uptrend, right? It is an uptrend. But what do? I try to short it, and that's why I have this right here. No shorts under this, because once the market breaks down this level, that's when I can short. It breaks down the trend, and then I can do a test and do a short. I didn't wait for my confirmation. I did not wait for that, and I lost. I should be looking for longs. Back to the 2-minute time frame, I could have just wait for the reclaim of this level you see here, and then it starts retesting the level, and I could have longed there. It retests again, it falls back down, retests the level, I could have longed again. I would win trades in the past is because sometimes I would be following market structure, but I just didn't realize I was following it. And sometimes I did know, but the candlesticks, the patterns, the retest levels look so A plus for me that it worked. But even if the charts look so good, it looks so A plus, and the market's not with you, then you can lose. But recently I've been trying to short the market when we're in an uptrend, and every single my videos I keep saying that, but I'm not even doing it. And this was a realization. How many mistakes have I made doing this? And today is the realization that I shouldn't be doing it, and I had to wait for that level. We can also see that this chart right here, it looks pretty similar to the one that we had earlier. The market broke down, it's slowly starting to retest the level, and then it breaks back down. But it's because we are holding zones right here. We are holding zones, we are holding demand zones. That's why it's going up. Yes, it may work. If it did work, then I would have kept doing it, and then I would have not followed my market structure again. But now it's giving me a realization that I should focus on reading the markets properly. On to the next day, which is the trades I took today. I took 4 trades, and right now I'm contemplating on how many trades I take a day, because I used to take 2 trades, and I say if I take more than that, I break my rules. But recently I've been taking more. I took 4 trades, and again I took 4 trades again. But the thing is, what if I just take 4 trades every time and I lose all 4 trades? And then when I win a trade, I only take 1 trade. So it's like I have more chances of losing in the long run. So that's why I'm not really sure what I want to do. All the trades that I took were all under 30%, which is nice. Here's the 30-minute time frame of the market. We see that we are above this zone right here. We are holding this demand zones, and we're kind of in the middle of the zone on this area, but we are holding zones still. So that's why I said earlier that I wouldn't want to short until we break those zones. So that's why on the ES I wrote here, I'm not going to short it until it breaks under here. And you can see here, this zone here aligns with this area right here. This area, it also aligns with this area and these areas. To make it simpler, I will draw boxes. I'm not going to try shorting it unless it breaks this box. Unless it breaks the box of all these levels. It just really depends on the charts, on the 2-minute charts. But I have to make sure that I'm not shorting it unless we break key levels. We break levels of the previous days. We break levels of proper demand zones, and then I'll decide to short the market. That's why right here I will only short if it breaks under this zone. What happened earlier is that the market started coming down this zone. You can see that when I retested this zone, it got bought back up here, and also like here as well, right? These key zones got back up. So that's why I could have longed it there. But earlier I was like shorting it, right? The other day I was like shorting it. That's why I should only long it in any of these zones and not short it until it breaks proper market structure.
Order filled. Order filled. Autofilled. Autofilled.
So we see that the market was trying to hold the zone right here, 2-minute candles. I waited for a second candle, and then it was starting to wick off. It was starting to hold, and then that's why I tried longing it into one of maybe this supply or this demand zone, and it did align with this area right here. So I was like, maybe this could be a demand zone. It aligned with this area right here, this area right here. So I was thinking that this could be a proper demand zone. In hindsight now, I'm thinking this is a bit too early. It's a bit too aggressive to know that this will hold up. So I broke down this level, it retested the level. So then I took my short there. I tried it again. I tried it pretty early, pretty quickly, and I lost again for a small loss. And I was like, maybe I'm done for today. I don't know why I took 3 trades, right? I was thinking maybe I'm taking my trade too early, because why am I trying to short it when it just held this demand zone? Because I was still thinking that it can still touch the 20 SMA, still go down here, and then I can get a good trade. Once it started sliding up more, I was like, maybe it can retest the zone right here, the golden zone from earlier. Maybe since it broke down, it can retest that zone, and then maybe retest the zone here, retest this zone here. If we go further out the 30-minute time frame, we can see that it's retesting the previous lows of the previous day. We can see here that this is the previous low, it's retesting it, and it's retesting this low over here, retesting this low over here, retesting this low over here. So here's what happens. It breaks down this level, it retests it, and then I take a short. So that's what it did in every single market. It's retesting the lows, and I took it for a short. And that's why I was like, maybe this is the level of the retest that I had to wait for. And then I got in around this area zone here, and then I was getting a bit scared, but I kept holding until this level. It literally touched the line of where I was going to get out. I was going to obviously wait for a bit, and this is why I don't get out so early, just because it touches my zone. I was getting, anxious. I was like, I'm about to click the sell button, but I just keep waiting. I keep waiting, and then it starts breaking down slowly. And then once it starts breaking down, I'm like, maybe it can hold this zone still. I'm getting into my head, maybe it can long, but I'm not going to get out because my stop loss hasn't got hidden. So I waited. It started breaking down more. I was hoping that it'll just break down to this 20 SMA. It'll touch this 20 SMA right here, and I'll get a really good trade on it. It took a while for it to go down. So once it got into the zone, I was waiting for a bit. I kind of lost a little bit profits, but I was still waiting for it unless it breaks down a lot. But since it was holding, it held here. I should maybe get out. I should just respect the level, and I got out. And you can see that the whole day it held. And if I never got out, then I would lose my profits. Maybe eventually it could go down, but it didn't. And that's why I got to respect the levels. And it was a good trade. Maybe I just took it too early. I tried longing the market when it's too early. I tried shorting it too early. I got to fix those mistakes, and that'll just take time. I'm happy that I did get a good trade, and I'm almost break even today, which that's probably the best scenario. Learning while not losing money at all is a good scenario. I did take trades Friday. We can see that we are red. I did take 4 trades. I am down $48 this week. I've been recently taking more trades. As you see, even on this day, I did take 4 trades. These are my net ROIs. My losses were not bad. I lost around 20% on these trades, but I did lose a 44% on this trade. There was data that came out, and it kind of really messed me up. This is why I lost more than I should. So I'm gonna open trading view and show you guys, and I'm gonna go to the 30-minute time frame. So the previous day was around this area right here. You can see that it held this demand zone here, and we opened above this area right here. We opened above this area, and then I was looking for a retest to long it. That's what I was looking for. And I told myself that I do not want to take shorts unless we break levels, we break previous day lows. So I was thinking that I shouldn't short the market unless we break this low. So my idea was trying to long it. I was trying to fix my mentality of looking at market structure. So I was just thinking about longs. I'm still using the same strategy, but this is kind of changing my mentality, changing my mindset a bit. And this is probably the reason why I'm taking a lot of losses. So this is the QQQ. I'm going to show you the NASDAQ. It's the same thing pretty much. This was the level I was looking for. We did a break above this level on this day on Friday, and I was waiting for a retest. You can see that the retest worked over here, and I was waiting for it to retest here and go back up. If I go to the ES, it's pretty much the same thing. We can see that this was the high of day yesterday. We broke above here. We started seeing retests, and I was waiting for that retest again. And then I was gonna try longing it. If I go to the SPY, so these are all the markets I had to look for. I have to make sure they all align together. Even though it is the bigger time frame, I go to the 2-minute time frame and then I'll see how the charts look like. I gotta make sure it aligns properly. And if it looks good, then I'll take the trade. You can see in every market, it looks pretty much the same. This was the high of day yesterday. I was looking for a break of the level, which it did. Then it comes back down here to retest and it goes back up. This gray area, this is the pre-market. So I'm waiting for when the market opens for it to show me signs of retesting the level so it can go back up. I did take live trades, so I'll show you guys that right now. So my first area of taking a long was waiting for this retest of the 536.50. And you can see that the market is going to my golden zone on the NASDAQ, which is the 22,100. It broke down the SPY level and it broke down the ES level. The SPY is still rejecting the level. It looks pretty good on the QQQ. It looks like it's building the level. The ES broke, so I just sold out. I keep checking back on the 30-minute time frame, and I switched my level to the 536 because it matches up with the previous day's highs on the QQQ, and it also matches the NASDAQ golden zone. Took out the trend line and I drew it on the QQQ. It looks like a pattern that it can potentially break out, and if it breaks out, then I'll take the trade. So I'm just waiting, and I started seeing the SPY hold up, and then I just took it because I saw some volume in there and I thought it can just be really strong. But the problem was the ES has broken down this level and it didn't quite break the pattern. It didn't break the downtrend, and that's why I probably lost. I got it in too early, and then you can see here that there was data that just came out and I just lost a lot. I lost more than I should, basically. It went back up to the level of the 536, and I thought this could be of a good long because maybe this was the fake out and this is probably the long that I should have been waiting for. It looks strong, and that's why I got in. We can see that the ES is still below the demand zones. We're under supply now, so I should have waited for a better break and retest. At least maybe if the ES reclaims the level, and then I can do it. So it took my loss there. I still didn't want to play shorts unless we broke this level right here on the ES. We broke down the 20 SMA, and then I will try shorting it. But back then, like I was saying, my A+ setups were false breakouts, and it basically did that, and I just had to take the trade because it was like A+ for me. And I'm kind of like contradicting myself. Earlier this week I was saying that I shouldn't short under this level, and then I did take a trade, but then I lost. But it's because it was holding proper demand zones and I shouldn't have shorted it. So I'm still trying to learn this setup. I'm trying to learn what I'm going to do, but this setup right here was just A+. I just had to take it. So we are still in the downtrend. The level broke up here. That's when I did take it long. We filled back down. We tried to retest it. We tried to go back up, but ultimately it's still rejected again. And we see that the markets are rejecting the level still on the ES and the SPY, and also the NASDAQ was starting to reject. We still are inside the golden zone. We can see that all the other markets are just rejecting the level. I was like, I should just take this trade. I hesitated a little bit because I did tell myself I didn't want to short until this level breaks on the ES, and then it was a good trade. So I did short this level at the 536. I took it down to the 534, and since I hesitated a little bit, I did take it a little later, but I guess it was more confirmation as well. So I took it at this candle right here, take it down to this demand zone, but I was trying to make sure I get closer to this 20 SMA before I take out profits, before I exit out my trade. I did ultimately get it, but I did have to lose some profits because the volume wasn't as good as I wanted to be, or else it would have been a 2-to-1 trade. That's why I only got 45% on it, but it was a really good trade. And these are honestly the setups I should be looking for. I need proper breaks of levels and then retest. Right now, I've just been changing my idea of market structure. It's really affecting on what I want to do. Although this is still part of my strategy, break, retest, pullback, retest. These are my strategy, but I'm just not waiting for the confirmation that I need. We can see that the market is going on a downtrend like this, and I could take a long. If I want to do that, I should probably wait for reclaims of the market. I should probably wait for it to get back above this level here and then retest this level and then a long. Since it was in a downtrend like this, we're in a downtrend, I should wait for breaks of levels. I should wait for it to break back above these levels, and a retest for each level and then long. But we didn't see that. All we saw was the levels. We broke demand zones, and then I can look for a short. I can look for these breaks here and look for a short, and I wasn't doing that. I was doing the opposite. And then once I finally started seeing that they're trying to get back up, they're trying to break back above, but it's failing to do so, then I can short it because it's a break retest short. This is the process of trading. Earlier this week, I told myself I shouldn't short this level. I didn't respect my rule and I lost. I was blaming it because I wasn't following market structure, but it was because it was holding a demand zone. So if I go back to the Tuesday trade that I took right here, I told myself I do not want to short the market unless we break these levels of the QQQ and the SPY. It's because we can see here that we are holding this level right here, and since we're above that, we are in an uptrend and I don't want to short. I'm looking at market structure, but then when it comes to the day, when I go to the 2-minute chart, this was my A+ setup usually. It broke down the level, it started retesting the level slowly, and then I took it. We can see the same thing on the NASDAQ level. It broke down this level, it started retesting it, and then I took it. But for the SPY, we are still above the previous day's low, like I was showing you. That's why I said no shorts until this breaks. The ES is holding the demand zone right here, so that's why I shouldn't even take the trade at all. But I was blaming market structure. So that's my dilemma this week. I'm trying to do a lot of things. I'm trying to switch my trading a little bit, but overall, I'm going back to my strategy, but I'm trying to follow market structure more. It's honestly the same strategy, but I look for a few things that I really want to look for in my setups, and I shouldn't be trading 4 times in a day. If I was trading 4 times and I was winning all 4 of them, or at least have 2 winners, then it'll be great. But since I'm only winning once, it's not really a good idea. This is always going to be an ongoing process. We can see in January where I was looking back at my strategy, I was trying to change it up a little bit, and I realized at the end of the month I should stick to my strategy. February happens, I'm doing that, but then I go back to what I was doing before, and then I'm realizing that I could take more setups, but I had to really fine-tune my strategy more, and I could still take more setups and have great winners. And what I like to say is, how you do one thing is how you do everything. Let's keep staying disciplined, let's keep staying consistent, and let's just get 1% better every day, and I'll see you in the next one.